What's up, everyone? Welcome to today's video. I'll start off with the subject of today's video, and then I'll get into the rest of the video, the today's dash and everything else. But let me start with the today's subject, the the DoorDash in-app GPS. And like I said in a previous video, I'm kind of new to it. And today I saw my first issue with it. Technically my second issue. The first one I really don't count. It was on that very first day that I used it, where I was coming out of my apartment complex and I saw right away, I saw like on the GPS an unnecessary circling around the block right across from my complex that it was going to have me do for no reason. But I bypassed that, and I really don't count that. But today's was a better example. So my first order, Tim Hortons order, I go to get it. It's a familiar customer. I'm on the way to the customer, and this DoorDash GPS is having me go past the turn that I normally make to get to this customer. And it's wanting me to basically stay on more like major roads. The way I normally take is with Google Maps is a kind of like a little country roadway, and the road is more narrow, kind of curvy up and down road, kind of dangerous actually. So I could see why the DoorDash, this other GPS would have me go this other direction to stay on the major roads. But still, I still wanted to go the way that I normally go to this customers. I still made my turn, and I made sure to pay attention, but how much distance was after I made the turn and I got rerouted, how much distance was the difference was. And it was actually kind of significant. It was 8/10 of a mile. So this DoorDash navigation was going to have me go almost an additional mile to get to the customer. And like I said, I can kind of get it because especially it was still dark outside. So it probably would have been safer for me to go this other way to stay on the main roads. But I felt comfortable. It wouldn't have saved me any time. It actually probably would have took a minute or two longer to get to the customer that way, because I was probably going just as fast the old way as this other way. Um, so, but anyway, yeah, I saved 8/10 of a mile by going the way I already knew how to go. So if I going forward, if I keep running into more issues like that, then I'll probably at that point switch back to the Google Maps. For right now, it's only one issue so far, and it wasn't it wasn't that significant. So I'll just wait. If I start having problems, if it starts routing me to a completely different wrong address or stuff like that, then I'll switch back to the Google Maps. But otherwise, the rest of the shift today didn't have any problems. So it was just that on the first order. Okay, now let's get to today's dash. Again, I apologize. I recorded a lot of this morning while I was out in the middle of the dash and recorded a couple segments here and there. But those file sizes were too large for my phone. Um, I will be getting another phone, but it'll probably be in a few years from now before I can afford that. One thing to mention real quick is probably for the next month, I am not going to sign up for overtime at the W 2. If they call me, that's going to be like a different story, and I might, drop what I'm doing to go in. Just depends. But I'm not going to sign up. I'm getting kind of burnt out on my old department, and I want to take like the next month or so, get more proficient in my new area, and at some point they're going to let me start signing up in my new area. So I figured for the time being, the plan is to go back to what I was doing before all this overtime, go back to the full time gig work, full time by my standards, and that's Tuesday through Fridays. Until I meet my $100 goal each day. And it probably won't be like every single day. We might have some different things my wife and I coming up to do and stuff. So it probably won't be every day, but a good majority of the Tuesday through Fridays for, like I said, the next month, 6 weeks, something along those lines. That's the plan for right now. So anyway, start time for today's dash 6:05 in the morning, and I got an order like right as I logged in. The Tim Hortons order I just mentioned. Going to, like I said, a familiar customer, the nice lady. Talked about the nice lady before in several of my past videos, and so awesome. So I go to Tim Hortons, get the order. It has me again. I'm taking a picture of the order, and I think I did several restaurant pickups today. I don't know, somewhere around eight or nine, 10, something like that. And I want to say like two or three of them they asked for that photo, and the rest of the orders it didn't ask for the photo as I'm picking it up. And I don't have a problem with these pickup photos. I can kind of get it from the standpoint of on this Tim Hortons order, there was two ice caps. Well, let's just say that there was only one, and the staff missed one of them, and I didn't catch that either. I go to take the picture. The app says that the customers are supposedly able to see this picture. When I place DoorDash order for myself, I never see pictures from the restaurants. I've never seen that. I don't know if I can request that. I don't know how that works. And only pictures I've ever seen is when it's dropped off at my door. So for me personally, as a customer. But anyway, if let's say there had only been one ice cap, I take that picture and I start going out to my car, and if the customer is able to see that and message me right away, hey Joe, hey, wait a minute, there's supposed to be two ice caps there. And then, oh, whoops, and then I haven't left yet, I can go back in the store and get the other one. So if that's the purpose or one of the purposes of these photos, I think it's a good idea. But see, my thing is either have us take the photos or don't take them on all the orders. I don't really like the fact that I'm only taking them here and there on some orders, but not other ones. Let's either just do this or don't do it. That's my opinion. But I deliver that, and I get to the customer, and she was real appreciative. She was like, "Hey, thanks so much for getting this order for me. I placed this order at 5:30 this morning, and that's how long it took to get us." And I said something like, "Oh yeah, I was kind of wondering why I got like that order right as I logged in." And she was like, yeah, and it took a while to get us on. Plus, Tim Hortons can be slow, she said. So, yeah, thanks for getting this order to us. So that's pretty cool. Um, Then I did a dollar for dollar or dollar for mile, 12.50 Chick-fil-A, 12.5 miles. So, and actually that all took place in zone. Actually, I was probably about like 5 miles away from the Chick-fil-A, and then it was going across my zone. Actually, technically, it went just out of my zone, but only about a mile or so out of it. So it wasn't a bad order at all. And this and the next order that I would do, both really small Chick-fil-A orders in one sack, no drinks. I mean, it was easy. Um, had a decline that I almost took but didn't. I'm not gonna talk about all my declines anymore. So I'll still screenshot them, but I'm only gonna talk about like a few of them here and there. But this one was 975, 12 miles Chick-fil-A. It was a little bit upside down, but I was still thinking about taking it. But it was going out east. So I was like, no, let's decline this. And it was just 2 minutes later, I got a better one, 875, but like almost 5 miles less. This one was 7.5 miles. So I went ahead and took that. Um, that was 475 and a $4 tip. That took me 24 minutes um, to make the 875. Not bad. I pretty much stayed, and you'll see with most all these orders, pretty much hung around that $20 an hour uh, pace on getting these orders completed. Next was a $7 McDonald's, 4.5 miles, pretty routine order. That one took me 14 minutes. So, right on pace. That's $21 an hour average pace on that order. 975 Meyer, 6 miles, 12 items. This was kind of weird. Let me see if I can remember the items. It was like I got lucky. There was multiples. 4 of the 12 items was just bananas. So easy, right there, right in the front of the store. Four of the 12 right away bananas. So and then the rest of it was like 2 packages of pudding mix. There was some milk, uh, and what was the other like food item? Some cookies, Pepperidge Farm cookies. The milk. There was like a baking pan, one of those aluminum foil disposable baking pans, and a bucket. It was kind of weird, and a whisk, and maybe one or two other things that I'm forgetting. But yeah, somebody was like concocting a pie or some kind of dessert or something. But the interesting thing was this was going to a business. This was going to like a second floor, like a medical office, which was kind of weird. And yeah, but too much sugar for me. So that's why when I got there and gave them the order, I didn't ask if I could have, a little bit of whatever they were fixing, because yeah, that would have been a little bit too much sugar for me. And then I got a pretty routine $5 McDonald's, 2.5 miles. That only took 13 minutes. Hand to customer. Guy was outside waiting for me. I didn't even have to get out of the car. And as I drove away, I got an additional $2 for that. So that turned it into a $7 2.5 mile. So sweet. I'll take it. Then I took a $4 Wendy's order, and a lot of people, dashers are like, oh, I'll never take a $2 to $4 order, yada yada yada. But folks, this was like literally, I was pretty close. I was only not even 2 minutes away from the Wendy's, and this literally just delivered across the street. That's all it was. So the order was ready. I go into Wendy's. It was ready. Pick it up, and I just go through 2 traffic lights to go across the street to the urgent care, deliver it, done. That from time I accepted the offer to dropping it off, 6 minutes. So hey, $4 for, or yeah, $4 even for 6 minutes of work. I'll take that. You know, um, and it was like it was less than a mile. Then I got a Meyer Pet, and $12, 4.5 miles, only 2 items. So let's do it. So I get inside the store and I get about halfway to the pet department. I click my start shopping button, and where normally on just about all my Meyer orders, it gives me aisle numbers. Well, for this order, instead of aisle numbers, and I'll throw up the screenshot, it gave me 2 categories instead: dog and cat. Like, you gotta be kidding me here. Seriously? That's gonna help me one bit whatsoever. I know it's one of these items is for a dog and one's for a cat, and that's it, to help me shop these items. That's what you're gonna give me. Is categorizing it dog and cat versus giving me aisle numbers. Thanks a lot. I got a kick out of that. I couldn't believe that. But I actually had a little bit of problems finding these. They were both like health, like medication type things. The dog one was actually in an aisle, like one of the dog aisles, but the cat um, flea medication or whatever was not in one of the cat aisles. It was actually in one of the features, like out in front of the pet department. So, but wouldn't you know that the one that I had to get was out of stock. So, but I was able to take a picture, like that whole feature went into one, would fit in one picture on my phone that I sent to the customer. And waited and waited, didn't hear back from the customer, waited about 3 minutes. I go to call, and the guy picks up and he's like, yeah, this is actually my mom placed this order. So I'm actually going to text you her phone number, and then you can, straighten this out with her. I was like, okay. But while I was on the phone with him, a in-app message came across, and it said the one in the purple box is fine. So I didn't have to call the mom. I just picked up the purple box and off I went. So that ended up not being too bad. This order took what is this? Like 38 minutes for the $10. So, and again, I could have got it done in a half hour if it wasn't for the trouble finding the hours, and then it was actually like 5 minutes spent kind of messing around trying to find out what substitutions. If it wasn't for those 2 things, I could have had this done in less than a half hour. 625 and 350 tip for that. Then I got let's see, what was next? Or I'm sorry, that was a previous order I just mentioned. The $12 Meyer was $4 and an $8 tip. My apologies. Then I had a 450 Sonic. Now this was a $4 and some change order that I should not have taken. I meant the other one was a good one. This one did not take me 6 minutes. It was 3 miles instead of 1 mile on that previous one. Going to Sonic, Stringtown Road area, busy traffic. I had to go into that area and come out of it, kind of busy traffic. And then this was all drinks. So that it was 5 drinks. That was kind of scary. And then this particular Sonic, you can only go through the drive-through. You can't go inside the store. So I pull up behind a car, and the lady in front of me at the speaker is naming off like 50 different things for her order. I'm like, oh, you know what this smells? You know what a time it's about to be here, folks. It's about to be 10-minute drop written all over this order. And so I go through the speaker, and then now I'm parked behind her. She's at the window, and I plan on just not getting this order. And but still, anyway, while I'm sitting there, I internet search the customer's address, trying to find out if this was a home or a business. And so I'm in the middle of doing that, and a worker walks out the door with my order as I'm doing. So I didn't even wait. It probably wasn't even 2 minutes, and that worker came. It's probably like 1 minute, and that worker came out, and so that I could bypass the lady in front of me. So that was pretty awesome. I couldn't believe I got that order. Pretty easy delivery on that. And then so that ended up taking 16 minutes, which is $4.50 in 16 minutes. That's close to my $20 an hour pace. It was close to it. Then I had a $10.50 Aldi, only 2 miles, 17 items. And I wasn't too scared about the 17 items because I'm telling you right now, I'm an Aldi's professional right now, like just straight up. I know in my early days with Aldi's orders, I would struggle and get real frustrated and have to mark stuff as unavailable. But folks, I like right now, I'm hardcore professional Aldi shopper. I can do it now. So I went in there, didn't really have much problems at all with this order, finding everything. Delivered that. I had this thing done start to finish in 32 minutes. Time the order hit my phone to when I dropped it off, 32 minutes. That's with shopping 17 items. I can do it. That's badass professional right there. uh, Next was a $11 combination order. It was 2 items, CVS shop and Subway, 4 miles. So yeah, I figured if I should be able to do this in less than a half hour since it's only 2 items from the CVS. Let's go ahead and try it. I get to the CVS. It was just it was the same thing, just two of them. It was like this infant's cold and cough medication. Pretty simple. The Subway was just down the street, just a couple blocks, and the order was ready. Picked that up. I had this done start to finish in 21 minutes. So outstanding for the $11. And that, of course, that counted as 2 deliveries. That was $3.50 plus $3.50 plus $4 tip. Had a pretty much a standard big boy Frisch's order, $5, 3 miles. That took less than 15 minutes. Then my last order was a $6 Arby's, 4.5 miles, going to the golf club area. And I made a rookie mistake, irritated the crap out of me. So I get towards the drop off, and I know where I'm at. I know what I need to do here. I know I'm going to have problems with my signal. Or I think I should have problems with my signal. But I get out of the car and I seem to have a signal. So I'm trying to cheat here basically. I take the order up to the door. oh, looks like I can, I'm going through the steps. Okay, I clicked arrive at customer, finish the, or whatever it says, next step, next button you press, then, come to the photo page. Hey, the photo page comes up. I'm able to take my picture. I'm able to click the submit button. Damn, let's, look like I'm able to close this out and sweet. Nope. I tried to cheat and I got burned. So I got back to my car, started the car, start pulling away, look at my phone, and it's still on that order and it's back a screen to like the screen that shows when you first pull up to a customer. It's asking for all the delivery steps again. Like I said, rookie mistake. I knew where I was at. I knew what the issue was going, or should, the issue that I should be having, and I knew that what I've done before is I first I take a picture on my phone, the picture that stays on my phone in the camera roll. Then you go and like complete the steps, and if something like what happened to me happens, I still got the photo, and I can drive away until I get a signal, and then complete the steps and upload that photo, close out the order, done. Well, I didn't have I didn't have a photo now. I got irritated. I clicked the take photo button and I took a picture just out my front window at some house. And it's a good thing I still didn't have a signal. I don't know what would have happened if I would have submitted that photo. I don't know, but it's a good thing I didn't. I had to drive away further until I got a signal back, and I had to select that I handed the order to the customer. So, like I said, rookie mistake. I know better, and lesson learned again for how many times I learned that lesson. I don't know. I don't remember, but I learned it again. Um, Unbelievable. Then the other decline I'll talk about was a $16.75 Michaels order. I don't think I've seen them before. 11 miles, 6 items. The problem with this is it was going to downtown Columbus, so no, I'm not doing that. But yeah, interesting. So I don't know. Maybe that's new, or I can't imagine that they've turned on DoorDash years ago and I just never saw an offer for that. I doubt that's the case. The Michaels location in my zone, they probably just here recently, with the last couple months, decided to try doing some DoorDash orders and turned it on, would be my guess. But like I said, that was a decline. And then because of the signal issues, as I was making my way out of there, it automatically paused my dash. And I was over goal to that point already, so I hadn't had anything to eat yet. So I figured, yeah, let's go ahead and log off at this point and head home, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. But 14 deliveries for $108. The dash was 6 hours and 13 minutes, active 4 hours and 44 minutes of that time. So I stayed busy. So that's only roughly an hour and a half downtime is all I had out of over 6 hours. Only drove 76 miles to make the $108, so did good on mileage, and that was it. I had the other apps turned on at various different points, but didn't complete or any um, deliveries or do anything with any of those other apps. So nothing worthwhile came across. So it was all DoorDash. And yeah, like I said, we'll do all this again tomorrow. So unless something changes. So anyway, that's it for now. Thanks so much for watching. As always, be sure to drive safe out there, and we'll catch you next time.